Robbie's newfound faith be the turning point in his own fight with the devil?
And I think the one time that he was affected most, it was Holy Thursday, and I asked him if he knew anything about Holy Thursday, when the Feast of the Last Supper, and the institution of the Blessed Sacrament and everything. He said no. And I said, well, do you want to know something about it? And he said yes. So I started telling him about the Last Supper and our Lord saying, this is my body and this is my blood. And after I talked for a little, he said, look, he says, would you stop? So I said, sure. And then he pulled up the legs of his pajamas, and he had huge welts running down his leg, and he had them across his stomach and on his chest.
Bowdern and Bishop noticed that the scratches that are continually appearing on the boy sometimes seem to produce numbers, and they try to interpret the numbers, and they come up with the idea that there's a certain number of days left for the possession by the demon. And when they start working the numbers, they say Holy Week is when this is going to end.
Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, April 14th through 16th.
Holy Week for Father Bowdern, like any other pastor, is the busiest week of the year.
Particularly in the old days, he must have been going 12, 14 hours of pretty solid pastoral work, because at the time this was the center of the city.
So while all of this is going on, while he has a day job as a pastor, at night he's going to the Alexian Hospital and continuing the relentless prayers of exorcism.
And sometimes he'd be there until 12 or 1 o'clock, and he'd be back up at 5 a.m. That's when you got up. So he was under duress.
And nothing seems to be happening. The idea that this would all come to an end isn't panning out. It isn't coming to an end. It seems to be getting worse.
On Holy Saturday, Brother Rector brought a small, colorful statue of St. Michael the Archangel. The statue was placed in Robbie's room. It should be remarked here that one of the most effective prayers of exorcism was that dedicated to St. Michael.
Easter comes, and this is the day it's all going to happen, and it doesn't. Easter goes, and then it's Easter Monday.
Monday, April 18th, 8 a.m. Robbie awoke in a spell, kicking at the brother at the bedside. He jumped out of the bed, seized the holy water bottle, threatened to throw it at the brother, then sprinkled water toward him. Finally, he threw the bottle over his head, smashing it against the ceiling. 10 a.m. There were more spells when attempting spiritual communion. Robbie was able to say, I wish to receive you. The devil laughed and said, that isn't enough.
The voice came and said that I will not leave until a certain word is said, but the child will never say it.
That isn't enough. He has to say one more word. One little word. I mean, one big word. He'll never say it. He'll never say that word.
What we were doing seemed so ineffectual, you know, at times. Bowdern was great. You know, he said, we started this thing, and we're going to stay with it till it's over.
Holy Michael the Archangel.
10:45 p.m. The most striking event of the evening occurred. Robbie was in a seizure but lay calm.
That he would crush Satan under our feet, lest he any longer have power to hold men captive and do harm to the church. Present our prayers at the throne of the Most High, so that he may all the more speedily favor us with his mercy. Lay hold of the dragon, the ancient serpent, no other than the demon Satan, and cast him bound into the abyss, so that he may no longer seduce mankind.
In clear, commanding tones and with dignity, a voice broke into the prayers.
Satan, I am Saint Michael, and I command you, Satan, to leave the body in the name of Dominus. Immediately. Now. Now. Now.
From the snares of the devil, deliver us, O Lord, that thou wouldst assist thy church to save thee in all security and freedom. We beseech thee, hear us.
And Dominus is the word.
She's gone.
Dominus, the Lord. And that's the moment when the exorcism ends. In the hospital, and there are many, many witnesses to this, there's a sound which they describe as a gunshot.
A loud, loud report. And that was the time that the exorcism was over. And some of the ones that were in there saying their office, they didn't even know about the exorcism case.
And they go up into that room, and he's sitting up in the bed, and he's absolutely a little boy again. And he has no memory of what happened, but he does have the vision of St. Michael, the archangel, fighting the demon.
Remarkably, across town in St. Francis Xavier Church, several Jesuit priests reported a similar vision.
It was in the evening, and all of a sudden a huge light lit up the sanctuary.
Emanating from the light in the dome high above the main altar, the priests witnessed a vision of St. Michael.
I believe that this case was as advertised. I believe it was demonic possession, whatever that means. No one knows how that works. You know, the Catholics have a good theory about how it works and about what to do to cure it. But I know that this boy was cured, and modern science could not deal with his problem at the time.
You know, if a person wants to be skeptical, well, let them be skeptical. All I know is that I was there and that I saw it. I think the one person that came out of this exercise that was affected most was Bowdern.
Well, the way he put it to me, again, he was an old shoe. He was not a theologian. He didn't talk so much in theological terms. He said, Dan, any 7-year-old could tell the difference between someone who is mentally ill and someone who is possessed.
I firmly believe in the possibility of demonic possession. I'm not sure how that manifests itself, and I don't necessarily believe in a devil with pointed ears and a tail, or, you know, stoking the fires of hell with a pitchfork or something. But I do believe that there is a force of evil out in the world, and conversely, a force for good. As I say, I believe that that's a battlefield within every human being.
Someone, probably an Alexian brother, wrote a follow-up to the diary.
August 19th, 1951. Robbie and his father and mother visited the brothers. Robbie, now 16, is a fine young man. His father and mother also became Catholic, having received their first Holy Communion on Christmas Day, 1950.
Robbie's story still haunts this Mount Rainier neighborhood. Local folklore has spawned the legend of the Devil's House and countless rumors about what really happened. In a far-off corner, a house stands as a lonely reminder of the events that took place here in the winter of 1949. For all the details contained in the diary and the testimony of those involved, there are just as many questions that remain unanswered.